Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to see you all here, and I wanted to thank you so much for attending our first virtual networking event brought to you by the Young Professionals Network Team. YPN exists to ensure the voices and ideas for young professionals in the industry are heard. It's a dynamic entry point for real estate professionals striving to become more successful in their careers and to gain leadership experience. We are absolutely thrilled that you've joined us today to learn more about the Clubhouse app, and we hope you will stick around afterwards the presentation for some networking, laughs, and to say hello to some familiar faces, and also to make some new friends as well. We'll have several breakout rooms that you'll be able to join in and say hello. We'll have more on that after the presentation. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you, Brian Copeland. Brian began his career in residential real estate more than 15 years ago. He is the founder of Doorbell Real Estate in Nashville, Tennessee. He has been active in the national level since 2009. In 2010, he helped launch NAR's Young Professionals Network's volunteer roles and chaired the Data Strategies Committee in 2015. He has served in many volunteer roles and at the state and local levels, including as the 2017 president of the Tennessee Realtors, where he has been actively involved since 2007. He is a proud member of the Greater Nashville Association of Realtors, who choose him as their Realtor of the Year in 2011. He founded and runs Rebar Camp Nashville, a real estate technology camp that attracts more than 1,500 registrants each spring. Brian is a graduate of Carson Newman University and holds a master's degree in communications management from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Brian and his spouse, Greg, make their home on a Nashville farm with their two children, Micah and Esther. I hope I pronounced Micah correctly. Thanks, Brian, for joining us.
Hi, everybody. I've got my camera on. I hope you will turn yours on too. This is a networking event, and there's nothing worse than showing up in a real person networking event with everyone with bags over their heads. So there's a lot of bags over heads right now, and so I'd really like to see you guys if you could turn your camera on. I know it's been a very busy day for all of us. I have written 4 offers. And I have listed 1 property today, so I'm quite tired today. So today we're going to be talking about the Clubhouse app. And to start out, what is Clubhouse? Clubhouse is a real-time podcast. That's all you really need to, if you're trying to get your head around, what am I getting on here? Clubhouse is a place where you can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's people hanging out in this online app. It's only available currently on the iPhone. So if you're on any kind of other phone or other platform, it's only on the Apple iOS system. So you say, well, what do I do? If you have an iPad, you can get on, but that's going to be your only option until they open up the platform to other carriers and devices. Okay. Now it's on an invitation only platform also. So if you have an iPhone and you do not have access to it, then you will need to do some networking to someone who can add your phone number actually into their phone. They need to add you as a contact. And then after they add you as a contact, they may have some invitations to send. Right now, I think I have 8 invitations in my box that I have available. I run I help run, I shouldn't say I run. I help run a Monday night clubhouse called Real Talk Race and Real Estate. We have usually anywhere from 60 to 200 people on there. And so imagine going to a conference and sitting on a panel, sitting in and listening to a panel. That panel is on stage the whole time. And then you're sitting in the audience. But at some point you have the opportunity as you're sitting in the room to raise your hand. And if the panelists so want to, they can bring you live on stage to start talking. Okay. So, so you say, well, what's the difference in this and listening to podcasts? It's pretty amazing who's on there. There's going to be, you're going to see, like comedians like Tiffany Haddish. She hosts a clubhouse on there, and you're literally in a virtual room with her. and you get to listen to some of the comedy there. And then you're going to see multi-millionaires and billionaires on there, and they're hosting things in live time, and none of it's recorded, so you can't say, hey, I want to come back and watch it some other time. No, it's all live. It's about shared experiences, and that's what we've learned during this COVID time. It's very important that we have shared experiences where everyone's going through the same thing. Just like if you're going to a session at your realtor association, they're likely not recording those live when they're in person. So it's the same thing there. It's a live opportunity. I'm going to do a screen share for you now to show you what it looks like. So here on my phone, share. Okay. So this is Clubhouse. And as you can see up top, there are several invitations of things being held in the future. For you now coming into this, don't worry about being a host at this point. You can see right now I could enter and I will do this, but I will be muted when I go in. Let's see here. There's a Clayton times Edward Snowden, a talk with the Titans. There is on the New York Times style section, quiet morning meditation space. There's 502 people in that room currently with 16 people talking right now. I'm trying to find a real estate one that's active right now. The only way you can find the rooms is if you have friends in those rooms. So when Facebook and Twitter world, sometimes you don't want to be friends with people because the things they post annoy you. In this case, you'll want to have as many friends as possible, because this shows you that none of my friends right now in real estate are hanging out in any of these rooms. They're all out showing property. So we're going to jump into a room. This has got 78 people in it. Sharing recordings without. Okay. So I don't know if you can hear the dialogue there or not, but there's someone talking. You can see he's grayed this EEEAR plug. He's now currently speaking. He's unmuted. You hear me talking, but they can't hear me talking because see, I'm down here in the audience. And in the audience here, I can either just leave quietly, which says there at the bottom of the screen. I can raise my hand to speak, which I'm not going to do, or I can invite other people into the room right now. Okay. But I'm going to leave quietly right now. Can Teresa nod your head yes if you can hear them speaking? You can hear them speaking. Okay. So you got a speaker there speaking right now. I left there. I'm now going to jump over here to this Clayton Edward Snowden room. We can see right now this is speaking. We can click on him. Actually, Edward Snowden is speaking, believe it or not, right now. And you can see his profile here. I can open it up and see what he's doing there. Again, he can't hear me talk because I'm in the audience. And then, of course, I can follow him there. And then any room he goes in, I can follow him everywhere. If I wanted to speak, I could raise my hand. Okay. Now, in this area, I'm going to leave quietly on that. There are some rules you need to follow when going into Clubhouse. Go into any room and just sit and listen, okay? If you are invited to the stage to speak, you don't have to accept that. No one can unmute you. No one can make you speak. You can just sit there. But if you notice here, when I go back into this room here, you can see the little green dots on there by Ryan's names, Logan Springs, Earplugs, William, Alexandra. Those are the moderators, okay? And they can bring anyone on stage that they want to, okay? So they can bring anyone on stage at any time they want to speak. If you raise your hand, they may bring you up on stage, but you don't start speaking at that point. This is where people mess up. There's a thing called pull to refresh, PTR. And when you enter the room, you pull your screen down and it puts people in order, and they will call on you in order. Never, ever in a Clubhouse room do you go in and if they invite you to stage, start saying, well, hey, I'm Brian Copeland from Nashville, Tennessee. They're going to call on you, and it's very specific about this area. Then there's the second thing called resetting the room. And again, this is for people who are hosting clubhouses. If you're hosting a clubhouse, then you'll want to reset your room about every 15 minutes to say, hey, this is Brian Copeland. I'm currently on with so-and-so, and we're discussing this. If you have any questions, make sure that you're raising your hands, pull to refresh to see the speaking order. That's just called resetting the room at that point. But again, if we're in the 101 phase, you would just enter in as a listener. and join that audience and listen. So the key takeaways to remember as we're going through this today is, one, it's only on iPhone. So you will need to have your iPhone or your iPad. You will need to have an invitation from someone else in order to be able to join this. And then, of course, you can start, when you get in here, you're going to want to start following people. I can start a room right here if I wanted to, just to let people join me, and let's see what happens. I will start a room right now, and I'm just going to leave it open, and let's see if anybody joins. We'll see. If I have friends on, they may jump in, and I'll put them on the hot seat. But as you can see, I'm speaking right now. I'm Gray. I'm on. There's Teresa. She's in. Okay. So now Teresa has done me a great favor. And Teresa, if you don't mind raising your hand now, she's raised her hand. So now we'll go here at the bottom of the screen. I can see that she has raised her hand, and I am going to invite her to speak. And then she's going to be moved up on stage. You will see her move, hopefully, here in a second. Let's see. And I'll tell you, there it is. Okay. Now Kimberly has asked to be added to the room. So I'm going to invite her to speak. Oh, Gloria's here from Ohio.
Hey, Gloria.
Gloria, we are demoing. Oh wow, that's some bad feedback. Wow. Hold on. Whoa. I wanted to turn that down. I don't want to listen to that right now. So we are, Gloria, we are demoing Clubhouse for an association right now. I've got this muted, so I can't actually hear anybody speak right now, because again, we're just on demo mode. But you can see that here that Gloria came into the room. She's from Ohio. We've got Todd here. Again, Todd, we are doing a demo for some folks here on this. And we can see that Todd, just for promotion's sake, Todd is in the Boston market. Oh, you're probably in this piece right now. So you're here. And we can see also that Todd was hosted by Gary Rogers. He's the first one, or excuse me, he's followed by Gary Rogers, yet Teresa Hatton nominated him to join the room there, to join the Clubhouse in general. Okay. So I'm going to quietly stop that room, and I'm going to end the room. Okay. So, I know we've only got 10 minutes here. That's my 10 minutes. And that's Clubhouse in a nutshell. Any questions about Clubhouse? If you don't mind raising your hands, and then I will unmute you, but raise your hand digitally. That way it will go to the top of the screen, and I'll be able to unmute you. Nora, I'm going to unmute you now. Nora, go ahead with your question.
Hi, Brian. How are you? So I just hopped
good.
on, and I got on right when you were logging in. So say, for example, I wanted to find you. So I couldn't find you quickly. I did the search button. I found you actually on there, but then to join the room, I didn't know how to find a room that you were actively in.
You would have to follow me first. And then once you follow me, then it will show up in your feed that I'm in the room. Okay.
Okay.
But if you're not following me yet, it won't show it. So that would have to happen really fast on that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Kevin, if you could unmute for me, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. So you had people coming in from Ohio and other places. Is there a way that you can not have people that you don't want to come in, or is it basically open to everyone who follows you?
As I started that room earlier, I had an opportunity to make it private or to make it public. If I make it private, then I can send out a link, or I can ping people into the room. Again, we're just going to add them with a ping function there. But no, you can create a completely private room where only the people who are invited to it can see. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? I see no more. So Todd, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. It was very insightful, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning about it. But that was very helpful to everybody that was on the call. Thank you. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate your time.